back to another episode. Today we are outside, we're on the Halifax River. We're just outside the Chamber of Commerce. Our roof is still being worked on, so it's noisy. Decided to get outside, get some sunshine. Today we are going to talk about the worst signing companies. But first, we're actually outside the Chamber of Commerce here, and we are the only business of our kind that is actually a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So there's a hot tip for you. Most notaries aren't participating in the Chamber of Commerce, and there's probably a big opportunity that you're missing there that you could take advantage of.
Okay, I'm going to tell you my biggest pet peeves about three companies specifically. So you have TCX, which is the closing exchange. Now they page out orders, and it's always like a random odd number, like $67 for a reverse closing, and they don't barter, they don't go back and forth with you. Do not like that. Number two on my list would be Notary Go. Same thing. They always email. It's always a very low price, and when you go to actually accept it or counter the price, it's gone. Somebody's taken it. They are really low prices. I don't know who's taking those. My third worst, I would say, so anything really from coast to coast. I don't know why they are even expecting notaries to go out to leave their homes for less than $50. I feel like doing a refinance for less than $75 is really a slap in the face. They don't counter offer any of the prices either, and I just think that us as notaries, we are worth way more than that.
So let me throw a couple more at you. Signing Services of America, which typically uses the signingorder.com platform, they actually pay pretty decent, so that's not the issue. The issue is the communication and the coordination with them. Horrible. I had an incident with them where there was a cancellation on a reverse mortgage, and they automatically reassigned me to it to another time or another day without even telling me or asking me, assuming that I was going to do it. I had communicated with them and reached out to them and said, no, I can't do this, I can't do that, you didn't even ask me, please take me off. They never responded to that. And then what's more, I had an escrow agent who was assuming that I was not doing a closing of theirs because they were never filled in on the details. So that middleman thing is horrible. What's actually interesting to note is that business in general, the larger a business is, the worse the customer service. So this is an advantage that you can play as a notary. This is a unique selling proposition you can come to title companies with. Is, look, you're dealing with me, with my business. The quality will be superior because these larger companies like this, there's a miscommunication. Obviously on your end, there's lower pay, but the bigger, you can think about any business in general, and you can think about the larger they get, the worse the customer service is. If you go into a small apothecary, you're going to get way better, less wait time, way better customer service for your pharmacy than going to, say, a big brand like Walgreens, where it's just horrible, there's a waiting line, nobody cares. It's the same concept, so you can actually appeal to your customers, and you can appeal to your title companies with that concept. So let me tell you about the next one. The next one is First American. Now, First American is a title company. They're a very large title company, and they do their own signings for the most part through SnapDocs. I have arranged with a few good relationships with a few escrow officers where I'm going directly with them, but for the most part they like to handle them through SnapDocs. Now here's the problem that arises. One thing is that First American is actually they actually have a business arrangement, if not some kind of conglomeration, with Open Door Trust, who is also called what's the name of that company? OfferPad. So OfferPad's buying up a bunch of properties and they're using First American. OfferPad is a horrible buyer, okay? So oftentimes the seller, you're doing a seller via First American, or you're doing a buyer via First American that is being sold by OfferPad, and there's very poor communication. What usually ends up happening is that an escrow officer from another First American on, say, another state, another side of the state, is orchestrating a deal, but it's going down in your town, and you're going to go into a First American office and close that. Because why? Because the ones that are in that office are not going to do it. They're not going to close it. It's not their deal. They don't have a vested interest in it, so they've hired you to come in and do it. Problem is that you're a guest in their office, and they're not really comfortable with you being there. So when you add the potential for miscommunication with OfferPad mixed with you being an out of office guest, it translates into a horrible closing experience. Oftentimes they want to try to fund immediately, which means they want you to scan the stuff from First American to their email that is a First American, which means you need to use their scanners and you need to be familiar with them, which we are, but they aren't going to help you with that. They aren't going to help you figure that out. They're probably going to be pissed if you ask them to help you out with their scanning equipment. So there's that. Now I can tell you personally from our local First American office that they have a hard time fulfilling those orders because there's only a couple of us that are willing to do it. And as far as Grace and I are concerned, we automatically pitch them a really high offer because we know nobody wants to go there and we know it's going to be a transactional nightmare. So we try to avoid them at all costs. There's this very rare occasion that we will go there. Usually it's a double the price deal because we don't like waiting around to try to close something that should be a rather simple closing. So that's it. There's our list of the worst ones. You know, it's going to be different for every area. If you've got a worst experience, comment below. Let us know about them. We'd be glad to review them and see what's up with that. All right, until next time.